name is Cesar Hernandez, and my presentation is about being ethical in a workplace. So, what does it mean to be ethical? I'm currently taking a ethical class regarding how you should act within a workplace. So, for me, it would be engineering, ethics in engineering, and this class um, provides me a better understanding about how an engineer should act, um, also as a person, and how I should act between my coworkers and the higher ups that are within that company. Um, so to be ethical means that you need to be following a certain profession or group of code of conduct so that you don't offend anybody or nobody offends you, and you can treat others with respect as well. So throughout the speech, I want to give some explanations, a deeper insight with examples of what it means to be ethical in a workplace. So our first situation, we're looking at James, who is working in a power plant, and he is discussing the discharge of heavy metals into the river, and this river can possibly be already polluted by the amount of discharge that the factory is releasing, and the boss already knows what's going on. He's well aware of the amount of discharge the factory is letting out into the river, and James doesn't. James as an engineer shouldn't can't tolerate that because it affects not only the environment but also like nearby communities. So since the boss already understands that there's a high number of heavy metals going into the river, um, this will be considered unethical because he's doing nothing about it. This won't this won't also affect the boss, but it can affect the environment as well, and the communities. Like I said, they'll be affected as well. James applies the golden rule, which basically says if I would put myself in that position, I wouldn't feel good or bad. So in this case, takes himself, he puts himself in the position of somebody who lives nearby that river, who probably uses the water every day, and he doesn't feel ethically correct about how the factory is just letting this big of a discharge going into the nearby river. And James basically should alert the authorities that that can help with this situation and can can basically help control that situation. For the next situation, we're going to be looking at Carl, who's an engineer, who is overlooking a construction area. In this construction area, they're building a building or a building, and Mr. White, who is the owner of the building, who's wanting to build that building, basically sends Carl money to overcome the many obstacles such as inspections that need to take place. So Carl is sort of in a position where it feels like Mr. White, the owner, is basically bribing him into basically overcoming any problems that needs to be done. So with this keeping in mind, a bribe isn't something we should look for. While yes, it gives a monetary value, um, it is ethically wrong because you know you're putting other people's lives at risk. In this case, if something were to happen with the building, so such as like an earthquake, let's say, breaks the building down and people are inside it, it will be up to Carl's fault because he's the one who's performing all these inspections. So it's up to Carl to really decline this bribe from Mr. White, the business owner. In conclusion, we define ethics by practices that are acceptable in the outside world. practices that are acceptable by the government, by laws, by business, and such on. Um, with ethics, it's important to have ethics in a building, in a business, because it provides sort of a groundwork of how people should act within um, a professional workplace. This can also increase the competitiveness between CEOs, management, groups, and workforce. So, anyways, that was the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening to what I had to say about business ethics, and how ethics can affect our businesses. Have a good day.